Okay. Welcome to another episode of Chasing the Wind. I'm laughing because Andrew and I have been kind of just. He and I are both horsemen to some degree, but I'm teaching him a little bit about horsemanship. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today about G and Haw. I was joking with Andrew that he is a riding horseman. He's not a harness horseman, nor is he a draft horseman. But anyway, I want to talk to you about this a little bit. The Lord something came to me the other day, and I thought it was quite funny. My wife and I watch a channel on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and give a shameless plug to this called Working Horses with Jim. Kind of a fun channel, but he's got working draft horses. And he has an Amish guy helping him right now. And Jim was at a college on working clearing out some lumber for him, logging for them. And so his wife was back at the farm, and they have a young Amish guy working for him. And so they were doing the video for that day. And it kind of cracked me up because he hitched up at one of the teams. And I'm watching him, and the Amish guy says to the team, G, which means right. And if you tell a good trained team, you don't even have to use the reins, if you will. They're lines when you have a team like that, but for reference, they're like reins. If you have a well-trained team, all you got to do is say G, and they'll step to the right. Or if you tell them Haw, H-A-W, they will go to the left. That's what G and Haw means. G means go right. Haw means go left. And it's going to look backward on the video, but you know what I mean. I'm going by my perspective here. So I'm watching this, and I'm observing this young guy, and I don't really mean to criticize him because they corrected it later on the next video, but he said to the team, G, but he pulled him Ha. He pulled on the left line. I can only imagine what these poor horses were thinking. What in the world is going on back there? Who's driving? He's telling us G, so do we go G or do we go Ha? Because that's the way he's pulling us. They went Ha, even though he told him G. I found this so funny because I thought this is an Amish guy. He should know what G. He grew up. He was born. They told him G and Ha as soon as he came out of his mother's womb, I'm sure. I thought it was so funny. And I'm like, and then I was like, and he did it several more times. I'm like, the horses are going to get confused. I'm just hollering at the TV, and I'm like, you're doing it wrong. Like I was there. Like he can hear me because he couldn't. So I had a good laugh about it. And then it was funny because then the next video they put out, they were, the Jim kind of talked about it a little bit, and they had a good laugh about it. And, I think probably the Amish guy was just a little nervous he wasn't being recorded. They didn't show his face. Well, they kind of did, but they weren't supposed to, and all that good stuff. Anyway, I digress. Here's what I got a charge out of as I was sitting there. We got to know our directions, people. We got to, right, and okay, so here's where I think this needs to be. I've been preaching at my church on, and I did you'll catch up on it on one of these videos on steering required. If it hasn't already been out, I don't know, but this time it doesn't matter. It will be by the time you get this one. We got to know our left and our right. We got to know our G and our Haw. And the Holy Spirit's saying to me, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Okay, do we need to know our directions? Yes. And when we don't know our directions, the Holy Spirit will guide us. And the Holy Spirit's not going to tell you G and pull you Ha. If the Holy Spirit says to you G, metaphorically speaking, of course, he's going to pull you right. Because his yes is yes and his no is no. And that's what he tells us to do. And we might mess it up sometimes like this Amish young man did. But my point is this today, folks. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. And here's what else I was thinking about with this too is there on the in the Garden of Eden we have Adam and Eve being told you cannot eat off the tree, not of good and evil, but of the knowledge of good and evil. We have, I believe, a knowledge of good and evil. Now, God is our moral compass. He's got to be our moral compass. We cannot be our own moral compass. But when I think about that, if we see Adam and Eve as our parents, our earthly parents, our human parents, and they ate off that tree, that means that to me, it says they have a knowledge of good and evil. And I think people do know, okay, that wasn't right, unless you're a sociopath or a psychopath or something like that. Then that's a whole other story that I won't get into. But I think, we know sometimes when we've done wrong. We don't have to have, like the time I locked the vice grips on my brother's leg. Had it not been in self-defense, it would have been a wrong thing to do. I didn't need anybody to tell me that. But we need to let our yes be yes and our no be no, because as we're kind of driving our lives here a little bit, sometimes we have people in the car with us, so to speak, our spiritual car, and sometimes we have people following us. And so it's important that we know G and Ha. I don't think this young Amish man will do it again, by the way, because he knows now. He knows now. It's a good thing. He learned. He realized his mistake and he corrected it. But you and I have to do the same thing. We have to know G and Ha, and we learn G and Ha. Sometimes we make the way by walking it, by making those mistakes. But sometimes we have to let someone else tell us, "Don't go that way. Go this way. This is the way you want to go." And so just going to let you sit with that one a little bit. And now, folks, you know the difference between G and Ha, because if all of a sudden I say G to you, you're going to go right automatically. Or I say Ha, you'll go left automatically. Or you'll just ignore me and do what you want anyway. But anyway, I'm going to leave it right there, Wind Chasers. Fun little thing, but sometimes the Holy Spirit, that's how He teaches us. And I want to encourage you, let your yes be yes, your no be no, your G be G, and your Ha be Ha, and follow the Lord and go with the leading of the Holy Spirit in your life. Till next time, I'm Pastor Mark. Keep chasing the wind, because the wind is chasing you. Grace and peace.